What are we looking for? Dogs.
What's good, YouTube? Bishop Boy Bird, and we back on Bird's Eye View with it. Like always, appreciate the love and support. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Stop what you're doing, smash the like button, smash subscribe button, hop in the comment section, comment whatever you want. Of course, I'm dropping daily bangers day by day. You know we got news of the day coming out of Colorado, and we're going to jump right into it, dog. So, of course, this Colorado football program led by Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, is on a mission this year to prove a lot of the doubters wrong. Of course, there's still a lot of people in the nation that does not believe in this Colorado football program and what we have built from the ground up. Now, I dropped the projected offensive starters video a few days ago. I appreciate you guys for running that up. Of course, I had to bring you the projected defensive starters as well. We're going to start with the defensive line. Of course, I'm going to go too deep here. Starters first and then the backup. Let's kick it off with BJ Green, four-star edge rusher, 6'2", 275 out of Atlanta, Georgia, Arizona State transfer. We all know about the really talented edge rusher who just comes flying off the football. I mean, he is relentless in getting after the quarterback. Of course, he was one of the best in the country when it came to pressuring the QB. He finished with 57 total. He's well put together and explosive. He's honestly been productive since a true freshman. He only became the fourth Sun Devils player ever to lead the team in sacks as a true freshman. In 2023, obviously he had 40 tackles. He had 11 and a half tackles for loss. He had 6 sacks. He also had 1 forced fumble as well. Of course, he's been selected preseason first team All Big 12. Ever since he's touched down in Boulder, Colorado, he's been extremely tough to block without question. This young man is primed to have a phenomenal season for this Colorado football program. This is one of the best pass rushers in the country, and it's going to be fun watching him Saturday in and Saturday out get after the quarterback. Your starting edge rusher on the opposite side of BJ, Dayon Hayes, 4-star edge rusher, 6'3", 265 out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, was in that 2020 class. Pitt transfer, listed as a top-ranked edge rusher available when he entered the portal. Nice frame and length with a very quick get-off, a very athletic pass rusher. He dips and explodes around the edge, plays physical and fast, very good pursuit ability, sheds off blockers really well. In 2023, had 11 starts with Pitt, 45 tackles, 10 and a half tackles for loss, which led the team. Also had 4 sacks as well. Let's go into the two deep. His former teammate and now current teammate, Sam Okunlola, 4-star edge rusher, 6'4", 245 out of Brockton, Massachusetts, another Pitt transfer, a productive player that tends to play his best in his biggest games, played extremely well against Louisville and Florida State, that Louisville matchup. He was ACC Rookie of the Week for his phenomenal performance during that game. Demonstrates good pass rushing ability, nice frame and athleticism, coming in with multiple years of eligibility. Only a redshirt freshman this past season, so he has 3 years left of eligibility. 10 games last year with Pitt, 18 tackles, 6 tackles for loss. He had 5 sacks, which tied for the team lead. Had a forced fumble and 1 fumble recovery as well. Next up, we have Quincy Wiggins, 4-star defensive lineman, 6'5", 265 out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, LSU transfer. In 2022, this was the #1 overall player coming out of the state of Louisiana. He was a top 10 defensive lineman in the country, a top 50 national player, was a blue chip recruit, had offers from everywhere in the nation, has great size, physically gifted, moves extremely well, extremely strong, powerful. I mean, this young man here, versatile. I've seen him playing in and out, multiple different techs. I mean, Quincy Wiggins going to be a handful on Saturday. Let's keep rolling with the defensive tackles. Your starter, Chidozie Nwankwo, 3-star defensive lineman, 5'11", 300 pounds out of Richmond, Texas. Houston transfer, coming out of high school, top 80 defensive tackle in the country. Looking at a 2-time state champion wrestler, a productive defensive tackle that started 27 games for that Houston Cougars defense. Moves extremely well for his size, very strong, stout in the run game, tackles well, sheds off blockers really well, good mobility, 95 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, also blocked the kick as well. 74.1 PFF grade, which ranks second on that University of Houston's defense. Of course, he had a good amount of Power 4 offers coming out of the transfer portal. Obviously, we love the fact that he committed to this Colorado football program. We got a block bully, and y'all gonna see why. Let's keep it rolling, dog. We got Rayan Buell, another 4-star defensive tackle, Ohio transfer. In my opinion, he'll start next to Chidozie, a nice size interior defensive lineman who's physical at the point of attack, does a great job playing with pad level, strikes and sheds really well, also stout in the run game, shows explosiveness getting after the quarterback in the passing game, plays with a good motor. In 2023, had 30 tackles, 12 and a half tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks. He played on a really talented group of 5 defense. They were the #4 overall total defense in the nation. I believe in his abilities, and I think he's going to make a lot of plays for us on Saturday. Let's get into the two deep here. Terrene Carter, 3-star defensive tackle, 6'3", 303 out of Mansfield, Texas, Arkansas transfer coming out of high school, a top 60 defensive tackle in the country, a well put together defensive tackle that moves well for his size, physical, strong at the point of attack, gets after it in the run game. At Arkansas, 60 tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks. He also knocked down 2 passes down at the line of scrimmage as well. I've been liking the way he's been looking here in the 1v1s. He uses his strength and his hands really well. Of course, this young man is coming in with some good SEC production. Hey, man, I like this young man, dog. I mean, the fact that I didn't have him penciled in as a starter doesn't really matter when it comes to the defensive line because, of course, we're going to rotate guys in. He's going to be a sneaky good piece for us, dog, without question, man. It's going to be fun seeing this man get after it on Saturdays. Let's keep it rolling, dog. Of course, we got another one here. Amari McNeil, 3-star defensive lineman, 6'4", 285 out of Swaney, Georgia. He was in that 2021 class. He was a top 60 overall player coming out of the state of Georgia, a top 60 defensive tackle in the country. Obviously, he played with this Colorado football program last season. Hey, dog, I really like Amari McNeil's game, man. I think he's going to be a sneaky good one on Saturdays. Of course, he had 7 tackles for loss last season, which was third on the team. Had 3 sacks, 31 tackles. It's going to be fun, man, watching Amari McNeil get after the quarterback. Let's switch over to the linebackers, dog, and we got a good one here in the Kai Hill Green. He was a former 4-star linebacker, 6'2", 232 out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He was in that 2020 class. He was a top 25 outside linebacker in the country, a top 12 overall player coming out of the state of Maryland. An extremely athletic linebacker that moves with fluidity inside of the box. Very strong, very physical. Can tell he plays with very high instincts and IQ. Versatile, can play inside or outside, can be seen going sideline to sideline. Maneuvers through traffic really well and is able to locate and tackle the football. Use his hands really well to disengage from blocks. Displays good body control when blitzing. Understands depth when dropping into zone coverage. Just a very solid and all-around linebacker who can definitely make plays on this defense. Of course, in 2020, he played in 3 games as a true freshman. He started off at the University of Michigan. In 2021, at the University of Michigan, he played in all 14 games, making 6 starts. He actually had 50 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 PBU for the Wolverines. In 2023, he was at Charlotte, played 11 games there, 73 tackles, which was second on the team, 9 tackles for loss, second on the team, led the team in solo tackles with 48. He also had 2 sacks, 3 PBUs, forced fumble. He'll be a starting linebacker. Let's go to another one here. Levante Bentley, former 4-star linebacker, 6', 230 out of Birmingham, Alabama. Obviously, he started his career off at the University of Clemson, played 40 games there, 73 tackles, 11.5 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, had 2 PBUs, forced 2 fumbles as well. Of course, with this Colorado football program last season, played in 12 games, making 7 starts, started week 1 against TCU. Now, he didn't return to the starting lineup again until week 6 against Arizona State, but from then on, he was with the first unit, finished the season second on the team with 68 total tackles, had 40 solos, 9.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, which was good for first on the team. He also had 4 quarterback pressures, 2 PBUs as well. There's a money year here for Levante Bentley. Of course, he's going to be coming out with a chip on his shoulder, ready to prove a lot of the doubters wrong. Can't wait to see this young man suited up on Saturdays. Let's switch over to the second unit with the linebackers. We got Johnny Chaney Jr. He's a 3-star linebacker, 6'2", 235 out of Apopka, Florida, FAMU transfer. He was in that 2021 class. A very athletic and instinctive linebacker who's a sure tackler. Once he initiates contact, he rarely misses a tackle. Had the second lowest missed tackle rate among all returning HBCU linebackers at 6.2% last season. Of course, he can also play sideline to sideline, shoots the gaps really well. Also a very effective blitzer. Last season at FAMU, finished with 73 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. He had a 10-tackle game against the University of South Florida. Of course, this young man was all conference in the SWAC as well. Looking forward to seeing him come in and be able to make plays. I believe in his athleticism and his abilities. Of course, he's coming from a top FCS program in FAMU. This young man can really play football, dog. Don't even think about the FCS ranks. He can get after it for sure. Let's switch over, man. We got Jalen Wester. He is a 3-star linebacker, 6', 210 out of Palmetto, Florida, FAU transfer. Of course, Jalen is a very athletic and physical linebacker. Plays with his hair on fire, dog. I mean, this young man just flies around the football field. He's like a heat-seeking missile. Plays bigger than his size. I mean, this young man in 2023 had 55 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, had 2 PBUs. He also had 1 sack and 1 forced fumble as well. As his career, 113 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Let's switch it over to the DBs. We're going to start at corner, and of course, no other than Travis Hunter. We all know about the 6'1", 185-pound athlete out of Swaney, Georgia, Jackson State transfer, a generational talent, elite level athleticism, elite level ball skills, elite level IQ and instincts. Of course, he's the most electric player in college football today. He won the Paul Hornung Award for the nation's most versatile athlete. Of course, he was a consensus first-team All-American, first-team academic All-American as well. Just the second player in CU's history to do that. He's just the 8th player ever to be a consensus first-team All-American and pick up any level of academic All-American honors as well. Obviously, in 2023, this young man on the defensive side of the football had 30 tackles, 3 interceptions, 5 PBUs. Obviously, he missed 3 games as well, so those numbers could have been even better. We expect this young man with a full season of opportunities to put on a show. Oh yeah, he's preseason Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. There's only one Travis Hunter. Let's keep it rolling. We got Preston Hodge, 4-star DB, 5'11", $195 out of the state of Texas. Liberty transfer. Of course, that Liberty program went 13-0, played Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl. A sticky DB with ball skills and good tackling ability. Plays with good technique, physical in the run game. In 2023, had 50 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 8 PBUs. He also had 2 interceptions, had 1 forced fumble as well. He was one of the most sought after DBs in the transfer portal. Of course, he had the highest PFF grade of any DB returning to the Big 12. He could play outside. He could play at nickel. He could also play at safety as well. I know Travis Hunter's been playing nickel. They're going to be all over the place. We got DJ McKinney. We got a 3-star cornerback, 6'2", $195 out of Codyville, Texas, Oklahoma State transfer, long and athletic. This is a corner that's extremely physical and made a lot of plays for that Cowboys defense. Only allowed 22 catches all season in 14 games. In 2023, 38 tackles, 5 PBUs. Started in the Texas Bowl against Texas A&M. Didn't give up a single catch in that game. 7 tackles in the Big 12 title game. He'll be playing outside for sure. Let's keep it rolling, dog. We got Colton Hood. He's a former 4-star DB, 5'11", $190 out of Conyers, Georgia. He was a top 40 cornerback in the country in that 2023 class. A dynamic corner with really good feet, very smooth back pedal, plays well in press, bumps and runs well, drives on the football really well. Didn't see much action as a true freshman at Auburn, made a few tackles, but didn't play much. Has still 4 years of eligibility at Colorado. Obviously, we're glad he committed to the Buffs along with his little brother. Colton is a damn good athlete, really, really good in baseball as well. In high school, played quarterback, running back, wide receiver. This is him at wide receiver in this clip here. If he masters corner, he could play some wide receiver. Let's switch it over to the safeties. Here's your starter, Shiloh Sanders. We all know about the 6', $195 safety out of Canton, Texas, Jackson State transfer. Of course, Big Headache Gang CEO. He's one of the most physical safeties in the country. Top 20 safety in the nation. He's a thumper. This man really be booming shit, dog. Tied for first in the Pac-12 in solo tackles with 55. He was first in the Pac-12 and second in the country in forced fumbles with 4. He led all DBs in the nation with those forced fumbles. Of course, he had an 80-yard pick 6 at the Colorado State game. I was at that game. It was crazy in the stadium when he picked that ball off. Of course, that young man was all Pac-12 as well. Can't wait to see this young man. I mean, he is a pro. Shiloh Sanders is a pro. This is a money year for this young man. I can't wait to see, of course, him prove the doubters wrong. In 2023, of course, he led this Colorado football team in tackles with 70. He was just the 9th DB in Colorado's history to do that. Had 3 PBUs as well. Also had a fumble recovery and 1 quarterback hurry. Can't wait to see this young man continue to grow and be the leader that he is for this Colorado football program. I mean, this team is just better when he is on the field, and expect pro level production coming out of this young man without question. This is a big time playmaker on the defensive side of the football, and I'm glad he'll be wearing black and gold. Let's switch it over to your other starting safety. Of course, you got Cam Silman Craig, a 3-star safety, 5'10", $175 out of Birmingham, Alabama. Obviously, he was a Jackson State transfer as well. Everything you want in a safety, can cover and is also great in run support. Loves to tackle, just a fiery football player. In 2023, played in all 12 games, making 10 starts, over 670 snaps, had 44 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, tied for the team lead with 3 interceptions. Can't wait to see this young man continue to ball out. Let's get into the second unit. Savion Riley, 3-star safety, 6'2", 205 out of Ackworth, Georgia. Vandy transfer, was in that 2022 class. A physical and instinctive safety that tackles extremely well. Versatile, can play all over the defensive backfield. Originally transferred to the University of Miami, was actually running with the Ones. Hit the portal again, came to this Colorado football program last year in 2023. Played 343 snaps, making 48 tackles. Had a 12 tackle game against the University of Florida. Let's keep it rolling, man. Of course, we all know about Trevor Woods. Now, He played a lot of safety in his career early on, played some linebacker last season as well. We're not sure where he's going to be. Of course, he's a versatile athlete. Had to show him some love. Of course, he is one of the OBs, one of the original busts that was with this Colorado football program. Listed as a linebacker on our website. Started 9 games last year. 5 of those were at safety. Had 56 tackles, which was third most on the team. We'll see exactly how that transpires. Last but certainly not least, we got Herm Smith. 6 foot, $190 out of San Diego, California. Of course, he started his career off at Jackson State with Coach Prime. Had 26 tackles there, 1 tackle for loss. Also had 1 interception as well. Transferred to Idaho State. Had 21 tackles there last season. He's been looking well this summer, also in the spring. Also, we'll see how it all plays out. So if you made it this far, I greatly appreciate it. Of course, this is just my opinion here. This Colorado football program, I'm telling you right now, man, we're going to shock the nation without question. There's a lot of doubters, and it's cool because it is what it is. At the end of the day going to end, and it's going to end with us on top. I left a lot of guys out of this video. Of course, everyone can't start. Everyone can't be in the too deep. Again, it's just my opinion. We got a lot of talented guys. Tawfiq Thomas and Quinn Barnes, R.J. Johnson, Shane Coates, Brandon Davis Swain, Carter Stottmeyer, Arden Walker, Nikhil Wet Walker. Just to name a few. It's going to be fun in Boulder, Colorado. So not going to keep it long. Just want to bring you guys on the phenomenal update. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what time it is, dog. Bird's eye view, man.